Good morning. Melon Man here. Just en route from Burlington to Oakville. Just rounding Lake Ontario here. A short little trip to see a client in home this morning, and I wanted to leave a morning message. I wanted to talk a little bit about the paradox of life. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. A lot of the time people think that they are bad because something bad is happening to them. Maybe they've done something wrong. That's why something bad is happening to them. It's not really necessarily that you have done something bad if something bad is happening to you. Like, yes, we are the creators of our reality. That is for sure certain. However, the reality is a paradox. The three-dimensional world makes things have edges. The three-dimensional world brings things into black and white. However, the absolute reality is there's not good or bad. It just is. We perceive it as something bad. It's not really something bad happening to us. Only the mind makes it so. Things happen. They aren't really good or bad. The truth is that we are finite in three-dimensional reality and infinite in the fifth dimension. Imagine that we've got this infinite bit, this spiritual bit that's inside of each and every single one of us. We are spiritual and physical beings. Only in the physical reality, only in the third dimension, do things turn into black and white. Only in the third dimension do we have color. Only in the physical reality do things seem sometimes good and bad. Imagine that your spirit being has always been here. The spirit is infinite. It never dies. The three-dimensional physical body dies, but the spirit lives on. Your spirit, my spirit, may have incarnated into the third dimension thousands of times, or so the true original teaching goes. The spirit lives on, and sometimes you could have created something even in a previous life that could be manifesting in reality here and now. You could have created the problems you have in your life right now in a previous or a prior three-dimensional existence, while your spirit is responsible for it, and thus it's happening in your life. So in absolute reality, you would be responsible for it. However, in three-dimensional reality, you may only be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. You may not have created it in that 60, 70 years, the karma that you're dealing with right now. Yes, we are the creators of our realities. Sometimes, some of the things that are happening in our realities we didn't create right now. Or perhaps you created it sometime in your past and now it's coming back to you. Even if you've made change in your life, you still may have to deal with karmic energy. Sometimes something could happen to you just so you could learn and realize the truth, the great paradox of life. Can you be your infinite being, your infinite loving self, trusting that whatever is before you in this moment is exactly what you need? Can you meet it with joy, even if it's not the three-dimensional reality perfection that you'd like to have right now? Can you meet the circumstance that's before you right now with your very best self? Can you trust that what is before you right now is exactly what you need? It's actually supporting you in some way, perhaps, that you can't at this moment understand. Perhaps you'll understand how this circumstance or situation before you is serving you. In the future, you may look back at the circumstance that's laying before you right now and think, oh my gosh, I thought that was so terrible when it happened. Yet, I can see now how valuable and beneficial it has been or was to my life in hindsight. The great paradox of life. Sometimes we just need to come to terms with whatever is in front of us in order for it to settle and leave. Some things we just cannot control. Some things are just beyond our control. Meeting every single aspect of your life with love. Meeting every single aspect of life with your love. You are love. Your spirit is joy, happiness, freedom, abundance, peace, and love. Unconditional love. Your highest frequency, your highest vibration. Your spirit bit of you defies words. It goes beyond thought and word. You can't understand the spirit. It is infinite. The human brain is finite. The human mind is limited. It's within a skull. It's in a bony structure. It has boundaries. Your mind is not boundless. We have to deal with three-dimensional reality, the physical bits. You are an infinite being inside of a finite body. Some things, some bits, we have no words for. Some bits of us we can't understand fully. The spirit bit is above us. The spirit bit is above the mind. Imagine that your body, your three-dimensional body, you can understand that. Imagine your mind even. You can study it and they can break it apart and understand the mind. But the spirit bit of you can't grab it, can't touch it, can barely measure it. Just by electrical current and impulse can it be measured, your actual life. We can't understand the spirit. It's vibrating on a frequency that's above the frequency of mind and physical body. It's on a plane that nobody can really know. We can only estimate about it. As above, so below. So below, as above. As above, so below. What's going on in the lower planes is the same as what's going on in the higher planes. What's going on in the physical plane is similarly going on in the mental plane. Similarly going on in the spiritual plane. So we can infer about the spiritual plane, but we can't know for sure. We can't really speak about these things. The spirit, there's no words for the spirit. How do you describe God? How do you define the infinite, the all, the creator of all things? How do you speak about it? You can't. There's no words for it. It's forbidden. It's forbidden knowledge. It's forbidden information. There's no words. You can't speak about something that you can never really grasp or fully understand. So we can't really understand it all. It is the great paradox of life. You are physical and you are spiritual. This is the great paradox of life. This creates the great paradox of life. We can't understand all things. The meaning of all things we can't fully grasp. And the meanings of things will mean different things to each and every single one of us. What does it mean to you? That's the highest truth in the three-dimensional reality. What does the circumstance that's happening to you mean to you? Meditate on the circumstance. Focus on your breath. Sit with it. Be quiet. Be still. Don't use words. Don't think. Go beyond thought. Go into meditation. This is your time with Spirit. If you meditate deeply, you may get some insight, some learning, some knowledge, some understanding of what this circumstance means for you in your life. What the circumstance or situation is trying to teach you. Imagine the Creator is white light. Imagine the Creator is love. Everything He, she does for us is for our greatest good. All things are for our greatest good. We create with the loving magic of Spirit. The power of our Creator is within us. We live in a reality of cause and effect. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. We are the creators. Sometimes we created the circumstances that we have before us in another time, space, and the things that are before us may not be our fault. The paradox of life. Right and wrong, good and bad. Only the mind makes it so. Listen, the Melon Man arriving at my destination in Oakville. Getting out of my car to help someone start their day with the right thought, word, and energy. Have yourself a super wonderful day.